Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is the 16th day of fall today, which brings us to the Dog Festival. We have a little bit of time to kill before the festival at 10 o'clock. You can see that my field is looking very bountiful. Everything is going really great there. I ended up having to cut down the rest of my rice. I was gonna do it this morning, but it actually died on me, so I reloaded my save from last night, and I now have all the rice that I'm gonna get for this year. Things are going a-okay in the orchard as well. Just patiently waiting for more grapes and more apples, and keeping an eye on my grape tree that is coming in, as well as the apple trees. And you'll have to forgive me because I am doing post-commentary today, because when I went to edit this, I realized that I saved over this with my next video's voiceover. So that was really smart of me. And I haven't done post commentary in a real long time. But there's not really a lot to cover in this video. Basically here I'm just going over how much money I've made and some of my totals. You can see I've got quite a bit of lumber, and I've been using some of my money to purchase lumber from Ganon. We're going to hopefully have a good surplus of lumber for when we go to build our greenhouse. And of course my plan is to have lumber available to build the greenhouse, and then use the dark green Harvest Sprites large enchantment to hopefully save myself some additional costs. And the other thing that I'm gonna go over after the Dog Festival is an additional way that I discovered to increase the quality of crops. The yams that have been growing are coming in all at B quality, which is not going to be good enough for the crop festival. And being that there's only 12 days until the crop festival, I thought that I had better try and figure out some sort of additional ways, if there were any, to be able to get myself some A quality yams. So that's something that I'm going to be taking care of and talking a little bit about after the Dog Festival. And I'm just coming into the maker shed here to make myself some yam seeds, because I'm going to be planting another area of yams after the festival. But as you can see, we're getting B quality yams, which is okay just for the purposes of shipping, because it's not like I need a lot of money anyways. But if we do want to win our crop festival, then B quality just isn't gonna cut it, as we had seen last season in the summer. And I wish that I had done a bit of research sooner, because I think I probably could have won the summer crop festival using the knowledge that I discovered while researching. And as much as I would have loved to just reload the save that I had to be able to go back and do a live recording and live commentary, I can't because I saved over it. So right now I'm like standing in the middle of the field and I don't remember what I was saying, so it makes it really awkward. But at this point I think I decided to go on over to the festival. I don't want to arrive too late, otherwise obviously we don't get the chance to actually take part. So we're gonna go straight there and worry about the rest of the stuff we're gonna do later on in the day after the festival is over. So we did win last year, and our dog has maxed out 10 hearts. Also, can't believe Witch Princess doesn't like dogs. Come on. Really? Don't be like that. I mean, at least she's honest, I guess, but I'm definitely a cat person, but to just straight up say that you hate dogs, damn. Well, regardless of how Witch Princess feels, we're gonna get this thing underway here. As I was saying, our dog has a full 10 hearts, and so the dog itself isn't the issue. Our dog should be able to basically catch any frisbee that we throw it. It'll be more or less me making a really, really crappy throw that would lose me the competition. I hadn't been doing a ton of practice for this festival before it came up, just because it's a pretty simple concept, but sometimes I can't quite get the handle on the throwing. So originally what I had done was I had a save state all ready to go where I had a winning champion toss, and I was going to reload it if necessary to be able to ensure that I got first place. But as you can see here, I made an absolutely beautiful throw, and that right there, our first toss, is pretty much going to win us the competition regardless of how our second and our third throw goes. And keeping in mind too that when your dog has the red heart above its head, that is when it's going to be able to catch the frisbee at the farthest distance. So I got very lucky there because I actually had 2 out of 3 throws where my dog could have potentially caught the frisbee at 60 meters. It would have given me 2 chances to throw if I had screwed the first throw up. But we had 2 out of 3 very, very good tosses, and I do believe that 2 out of the 3 would have won us first place. So we did very good today. Our dog did very, very well. I don't think the dog festival is going to be a problem at all, as long as I keep making sure to feed the pets and to keep my dog outside and just to make sure that I actually remember to pay attention. And then, you know, predictably, at this point, we get a yellow wonderful because why would I want any other color? I give up. I just... Why? Oh my god. I was very disappointed. Obviously, I knew that I was getting the yellow wonderful because I played ahead of time and then came back to record the video, but it doesn't make me any less disappointed. But anyhow, at least we're sort of back on the saddle in terms of maybe winning some festivals, assuming that we do well with the crop festival. So I'm gonna head right on over to Charlie's, and I'm actually going to have him take the Yellow Wonderful out of my watering can, because the double water that I've been giving some of my crops is actually partially to blame for getting lower quality crops, if you can believe that. So, when I was doing some research, what I discovered is that the two ways to increase the crop quality is A, to leave your crops on the vine or in the ground after it's matured, which I've always known. And I thought that that was the only way to increase the quality of your crops. But what I discovered by doing a little bit of reading is that you can increase the quality of your crops if you manage to provide your crops with exactly the amount of sun and water points that it needs. And I do believe, to my knowledge, it's only the third and final stage where the exact water and sun points matters. And because yams only take about 6 days to come in and start giving you yams, if everything goes well, I was able to fast forward 6 days in advance, look at the weather, and what I've discovered is that if I plant them today and I give them 1 pint of water, they will have exactly the amount of water and sun that they need for each of the 3 stages of development. So it's going to be an interesting test to see if these yams that we've planted just now will come in at a higher quality than the other yams that I've been getting throughout the season. If what I'm reading is correct, then they should, and we should be able to use those for our crop festival. So the reason I took the Yellow Wonderful out of my watering can is because yams only need 1 point of water per stage of development, and the Yellow Wonderful automatically gives us 2 points of water when it's charged up and used. So I hope that isn't too complicated of an explanation, and I apologize that that's pretty dry, boring stuff to talk about. But I thought it was important because I hadn't realized that up until now. I'm almost 120 videos into this, and I've played this game once through as Chelsea already, and I still didn't know that. I still learn things about this game all the time. And that would be another good reason to get a greenhouse, because with a greenhouse, you can really control the amount of water and sun that you're giving your crops. And that will definitely be something to test out once we have the resources to go ahead and get the greenhouse further on down the line. I really think that's all that I had to cover. Obviously, the most important thing was the dog festival. That was kind of the core part of this video, and then just talking about and explaining a little bit about the crops and how that works. So the next time I record and I come back, hopefully we will be able to see those yams, and we'll be able to see if they are increased in quality. So at this point, if we have a look at our calendar, the next festival that we have is the Rice Festival. But I think I'm going to skip doing a video on it just because there's nothing really to talk about. There won't be any changes from last year. We don't have the opportunity to win Wonderfuls, and overall it's just not that exciting. And on the 25th, our child should be born, which is far more exciting and obviously something that is much more important to talk about. And if something happens in between now and then, we can also include it in that video. And I think that that's a much, much better, solid plan. It gives me a little bit longer of an opportunity to play and to maybe have some things to talk about, just because things have been going so smoothly and just so routinely that I haven't really had much to talk about. So I am going to take a good long week to play the game, and hopefully when we come back we'll have some new and exciting things to talk about. And I'm looking very, very forward to the birth of my child. It's been a long time coming, so we do still have some exciting things to come up in the fall season. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.